أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate.
ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب المبين.
Alif Lam Ra. These are the verses of a book that clearly expounds the truth.
إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون.
We have revealed it as a recitation in Arabic that you may fully understand.
نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين.
O Muhammad, by revealing the Qur'an to you, we narrate to you in the best manner the stories of the past, although before this narration you were utterly unaware of them.
إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين.
Call to mind when Joseph said to his father, "My father, I saw in a dream 11 stars and the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrating themselves before me."
قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين.
His father said, "My son, do not relate your dream to your brothers, lest they hatch a plot to harm you. Indeed, Satan is man's open enemy."
وكذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم.
As you have seen in the dream, so will your Lord choose you for his task, and will impart to you the comprehension of the deeper meaning of things, and will bestow the full measure of his favor upon you and upon the house of Jacob, even as he earlier bestowed it in full measure upon your forefathers, Abraham and Isaac. Surely your Lord is all-knowing, all-wise.
لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات للسائلين.
Verily, in the story of Joseph and his brothers, there are many signs for those who inquire about the truth.
إذ قالوا ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا ونحن عصبة إن أبانا لفي ضلال مبين.
And call to mind when the brothers of Joseph conferred together and said, "Surely Joseph and his brother are dearer to our father than we are, although we are a group of so many. Our father is clearly mistaken."
اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين.
So either kill Joseph or cast him into some distant land, so that your father's attention may become exclusively yours, and after so doing become righteous.
قال قائل منهم لا تقتلوا يوسف وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة إن كنتم فاعلين.
Thereupon one of them said, Do not kill Joseph, but if you are bent upon doing something, cast him down to the bottom of some dark pit. Perhaps some caravan passing by will take him out of it.
قالوا يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمنا على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون.
After so deciding, they said to their father, Why is it that you do not trust us regarding Joseph, although we are his true well-wishers?
أرسله معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب وإنا له لحافظون.
Send him out with us tomorrow, that he may enjoy himself and play while we'll be there, standing guard over him.
قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون.
Their father answered, It grieves me indeed that you should take him with you, for I fear that some wolf might eat him up, while you are negligent of him.
قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون.
They said, Should a wolf eat him despite the presence of our strong group, we would indeed be a worthless lot.
فلما ذهبوا به وأجمعوا أن يجعلوه في غيابة الجب وأوحينا إليه لتنبئنهم بأمرهم هذا وهم لا يشعرون.
So when they went away with Joseph and decided to cast him in the bottom of the dark pit, we revealed to Joseph, Surely a time will come when you will remind them of their deed. They know nothing about the consequence of what they are doing.
وجاءوا أباهم عشاء يبكون.
At nightfall they came to their father weeping.
قالوا يا أبانا إنا ذهبنا نستبق وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا فأكله الذئب وما أنت بمؤمن لنا ولو كنا صادقين.
And said, Father, we went racing with one another and left Joseph behind with our things, and then a wolf came and ate him up. We know that you will not believe us, howsoever truthful we might be.
وجاءوا على قميصه بدم كذب قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل والله المستعان على ما تصفون.
And they brought Joseph's shirt stained with false blood. Seeing this, their father exclaimed, "Nay, this is not true. Rather, your evil souls have made it easy for you to commit a heinous act. So I will bear this patiently and in good grace. It is Allah's help alone that I seek against your fabrication."
وجاءت سيارة فأرسلوا واردهم فأدلى دلوه قال يا بشرى هذا غلام وأسروه بضاعة والله عليم بما يعملون.
And a caravan came, and they sent their water drawer to draw water. As he let down his bucket in the well, he observed Joseph and cried out, "This is good news, there's a boy." They concealed him, considering him as part of their merchandise, while Allah was well aware of what they did.
وشروه بثمن بخس دراهم معدودة وكانوا فيه من الزاهدين.
Later they sold him for a paltry sum, just a few dirhams. They did not care to obtain a higher price.
وقال الذي اشتراه من مصر لامرأته أكرمي مثواه عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض ولنعلمه من تأويل الأحاديث والله غالب على أمره ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
The man from Egypt who bought him said to his wife, "Take good care of him. Possibly he might be of benefit to us, or we might adopt him as a son." Thus we found a way for Joseph to become established in that land, and in order that we might teach him to comprehend the deeper meaning of things. Allah has full power to implement His design, although most people do not know that.
ولما بلغ أشده آتيناه حكما وعلما وكذلك نجزي المحسنين.
And when Joseph reached the age of maturity, we granted him judgment and knowledge. Thus do we reward those who do good.
وراودته التي هو في بيتها عن نفسه وغلقت الأبواب وقالت هيت لك قال معاذ الله إنه ربي أحسن مثواي إنه لا يفلح الظالمون.
And it so happened that the lady in whose house Joseph was living sought to tempt him to herself, and one day bolting the doors she said, "Come on now." Joseph answered, "May Allah grant me refuge. My Lord has provided an honorable abode for me, so how can I do something so evil? Such wrongdoers never prosper."
وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا لَوْلَا أَن رَّأَىٰ بُرْهَانَ رَبِّهِ كذلك لنصرف عنه السوء والفحشاء إنه من عبادنا المخلصين.
And she advanced towards him, and had Joseph not perceived a sign from his Lord, he too would have advanced towards her. Thus was Joseph shown a sign from his Lord, that we might avert from him all evil and indecency, for indeed he was one of our chosen servants.
واستبق الباب وقدت قميصه من دبر وألف يا سيدها لدى الباب قالت ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك سوءا إلا أن يسجن أو عذاب أليم.
Then both of them rushed to the door, each seeking to get ahead of the other, and she tore Joseph's shirt from behind. Then both of them found the husband of the lady at the door. Seeing him, she said, "What should be the punishment of him who has foul designs on your wife, except that he should be imprisoned or subjected to painful chastisement?"
قال هي راودتني عن نفسي وشهد شاهد من أهلها إن كان قميصه قد من قبل فصدقت وهو من الكاذبين.
Joseph said, "It is she who was trying to tempt me to herself, and a witness belonging to her own household testified on grounds of circumstantial evidence. If his shirt is torn from the front, then she is telling the truth, and he is a liar.
وَإِن كَانَ قَمِيصُهُ قُدَّ مِن دُبُرٍ فَكَذَبَتْ وَهُوَ مِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ.
But if his shirt is torn from behind, then she has lied, and he is truthful.
فَلَمَّا رَأَى قَمِيصَهُ قُدَّ مِن دُبُرٍ قَالَ إِنَّهُ مِن كَيْدِكُنَّ إِنَّ كَيْدَكُنَّ عَظِيمٌ.
So when the husband saw Joseph's shirt torn from behind, he exclaimed, "Surely this is one of the tricks of you women. Your tricks are indeed great."
يوسف أعرض عن هذا واستغفري لذنبك إنك كنت من الخاطئين.
Joseph, disregard this, and you woman, ask forgiveness for your sin, for indeed it is you who has been at fault.
وقال نسوة في المدينة امرأة العزيز تراود فتاها عن نفسه قد شغفها حبا إنا لنراها في ضلال مبين.
And some ladies in the city began to say, "The chief's wife, violently in love with her houseboy, is out to tempt him. We think she is clearly mistaken."
فلما سمعت بمكرهن أرسلت إليهن وأعتدت لهن متكأ وآتت كل واحدة منهن سكينا وقالت اخرج عليهن فلما رأينه أكبرنه وقطعن أيديهن وقلن حاش لله ما هذا بشرا إن هذا إلا ملك كريم.
Hearing of their sly talk, the chief's wife sent for those ladies and arranged for them a banquet and got ready couches and gave each guest a knife. Then while they were cutting and eating the fruit, she signaled Joseph, "Come out to them." When the ladies saw him, they were so struck with admiration that they cut their hands, exclaiming, "Allah preserve us! This is no mortal human. This is nothing but a noble angel."
قالت فذلكن الذي لمتنني فيه ولقد راودته عن نفسه فاستعصم ولئن لم يفعل ما آمره ليسجنن وليكون من الصاغرين.
She said, "So now you see, this is the one regarding whom you reproached me. Indeed, I tried to tempt him to myself, but he held back, although if he were not to follow my order, he would certainly be imprisoned and humiliated."
قال رب السجن أحب إلي مما يدعونني إليه وإلا تصرف عني كيدهن أصب إليهن وأكن من الجاهلين.
Joseph said, "My Lord, I prefer imprisonment to what they ask me to do, and if you do not avert from me the guile of these women, I will succumb to their attraction and lapse into ignorance."
فاستجاب له ربه فصرف عنه كيدهن إنه هو السميع العليم.
Thereupon his Lord granted his prayer and averted their guile from him. Surely he alone is all-hearing, all-knowing.
ثم بدا لهم من بعد ما رأوا الآيات ليسجننه حتى حين.
Then it occurred to them to cast Joseph into prison for a while, even though they had seen clear signs of Joseph's innocence and of the evil ways of their ladies.
ودخل معه السجن فتيان قال أحدهما إني أراني أعصر خمرا وقال الآخر إني أراني أحمل فوق رأسي خبزا تأكل الطير منه نبئنا بتأويله إنا نراك من المحسنين.
And with Joseph, 2 other slaves entered the prison. One of them said, "I saw myself pressing wine in a dream," and the other said, "I saw myself carrying bread on my head, of which the birds were eating." Both said, "Tell us what is its interpretation, for we consider you to be one of those who do good."
قال لا يأتيكما طعام ترزقانه إلا نبأتكما بتأويله قبل أن يأتيكما ذلكما مما علمني ربي إني تركت ملة قوم لا يؤمنون بالله وهم بالآخرة هم كافرون.
Joseph said, "I will inform you about the interpretation of the dreams before the arrival of the food that is sent to you. This knowledge is part of what I have been taught by my Lord. I have renounced the way of those who do not believe in Allah and who deny the hereafter.
واتبعت ملة آبائي إبراهيم وإسحاق ويعقوب ما كان لنا أن نشرك بالله من شيء ذلك من فضل الله علينا وعلى الناس ولكن أكثر الناس لا يشكرون.
And I have adopted the way of my forefathers, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. It is not for us to associate any with Allah in His divinity. It is out of Allah's grace upon us and upon mankind that He did not require of us to serve any other than Allah, and yet most people do not give thanks.
يا صاحبي السجن أأرباب متفرقون خير أم الله الواحد القهار.
Fellow prisoners, is it better that there be diverse lords, or just Allah, the One, the Irresistible?
ما تعبدون من دونه إلا أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم ما أنزل الله بها من سلطان إن الحكم إلا لله أمر ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه ذلك الدين القيم ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
Those whom you serve beside Him are merely idle names that you and your fathers have fabricated without Allah sending down any sanction for them. All authority to govern rests only with Allah. He has commanded that you serve none but Him. This is the right way of life, though most people are altogether unaware.
يا صاحبي السجن أما أحدكما فيسقي ربه خمرا وأما الآخر فيصلب فتأكل الطير من رأسه قضي الأمر الذي فيه تستفتيان.
Fellow prisoners, this is the interpretation of your dreams. One of you will serve wine to his lord, the king of Egypt. As for the other, he will be crucified, and birds will eat off his head. The question concerning what you asked has thus been decided.
وقال للذي ظن أنه ناج منهما اذكرني عند ربك فأنساه الشيطان ذكر ربه فلبث في السجن بضع سنين.
And Joseph said to one of the two prisoners, who he knew would be set free, "Mention me in your Lord's presence." But Satan caused him to forget mentioning this to his Lord, the ruler of Egypt, and so Joseph languished in prison for several years.
وقال الملك إني أرى 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف و7 سنبلات خضر وأخر يابسات يا أيها الملأ أفتوني في رؤياي إن كنتم للرؤيا تعبرون.
And once the king said, I have dreamt that there are 7 fat cows, and 7 lean cows are devouring them, and there are 7 fresh green ears of corn, and 7 others dry and withered. My nobles, tell me what is the interpretation of this dream, if you are well versed in interpretation of dreams.
قالوا أضغاث أحلام وما نحن بتأويل الأحلام بعالمين.
They said, these are confused dreams, and we do not know the interpretation of such dreams.
وقال الذي نجا منهما وادكر بعد أمة أنا أنبئكم بتأويله فأرسلون.
Then of the 2 prisoners, the one who had been set free now remembered, after the lapse of a long period, what Joseph had said. He said, I will tell you the interpretation of this dream. Just send me to Joseph in prison.
يوسف أيها الصديق أفتنا في 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف و7 سنبلات خضر وأخر يابسات لعلي أرجع إلى الناس لعلهم يعلمون.
Then he went to Joseph and said to him, Joseph, O truthfulness incarnate, tell the true meaning of the dream in which 7 fat cows are devoured by 7 lean ones, and there are 7 green ears of corn, and 7 others dry and withered, so that I may return to the people, and they may learn.
قال تزرعون 7 سنين دأبا فما حصدتم فذروه في سنبله إلا قليلا مما تأكلون.
Joseph said, You will cultivate consecutively for 7 years. Leave in the ears all that you have harvested, except the little out of which you may eat.
ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك 7 شداد يأكلن ما قدمتم لهن إلا قليلا مما تحصنون.
Then there will follow 7 years of great hardship, in which you will eat up all you have stored earlier, except the little that you may set aside.
ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك عام فيه يغاث الناس وفيه يعصرون.
Then there will come a year when people will be helped by plenty of rain, and they will press grapes.
وقال الملك ائتوني به فلما جاءه الرسول قال ارجع إلى ربك فاسأله ما بال النسوة اللاتي قطعن أيديهن إن ربي بكيدهن عليم.
The king said, Bring this man to me. But when the royal messenger came to Joseph, he said, "Go back to your master and ask him about the case of the women who had cut their hands. Surely my Lord has full knowledge of their guile."
قال ما خطبكن إذ راوتن يوسف عن نفسه قلن حاش لله ما علمنا عليه من سوء قالت امرأة العزيز الآن حصحص الحق أنا راودته عن نفسه وإنه لمن الصادقين.
Thereupon the king asked the women, "What happened when you sought to tempt Joseph?" They said, "Allah forbid, we found no evil in him." The chief's wife said, "Now the truth has come to light. It was I who sought to tempt him. He is indeed truthful."
ذلك ليعلم أني لم أخنه بالغيب وأن الله لا يهدي كيد الخائنين.
Joseph said, "I did this so that he, that is the chief, may know that I did not betray him in his absence, and that Allah does not allow the design of the treacherous to succeed."
وما أبرئ نفسي إن النفس لأمارة بالسوء إلا ما رحم ربي إن ربي غفور رحيم.
I do not seek to acquit myself, for surely one's self prompts one to evil except him to whom my Lord may show mercy. Verily, my Lord is ever forgiving, most merciful.
وقال الملك ائتوني به أستخلصه لنفسي فلما كلمه قال إنك اليوم لدينا مكين أمين.
The king said, "Bring him to me. I will select him exclusively for my own service." So when Joseph spoke to him, the king said, "You are now one of established position, fully trusted by us."
قال اجعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم.
Joseph said, "Place me in charge of the treasures of the land. I am a good keeper and know my task well."
وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض يتبوأ منها حيث يشاء نصيب برحمتنا من نشاء ولا نضيع أجر المحسنين.
Thus did we establish Joseph in the land, so that he could settle wherever he pleased. We bestow favor out of our mercy on whomsoever we please, and we do not cause the reward of those who do good to go to waste.
وَلَأَجْرُ الْآخِرَةِ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ.
Surely the reward of the hereafter is better for those who believe and act in a God-fearing way.
وجاء إخوة يوسف فدخلوا عليه فعرفهم وهم له منكرون.
And Joseph's brothers came to Egypt and presented themselves before him. He recognized them, but they did not know him.
ولما جهزهم بجهازهم قال ائتوني بأخ لكم من أبيكم ألا ترون أني أوفي الكيل وأنا خير المنزلين.
And when he had prepared for them their provisions, Joseph said, Bring to me your other brother from your father. Do you not see that I give full measure and am most hospitable?
فإن لم تأتوني به فلا كيل لكم عندي ولا تقربون.
If you do not bring him to me, you shall have no corn from me, and do not even attempt to come close to me.
قالوا سنراود عنه أباه وإنا لفاعلون.
They said, We will surely try to prevail over our father to send him. Be sure we shall do so.
وقال لفتيانه جعلوا بضاعتهم في رحالهم لعلهم يعرفونها إذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم لعلهم يرجعون.
And Joseph said to his servants, Put surreptitiously in their packs the goods they had given in exchange for corn. Joseph did so expecting that they would find it when they returned home. Feeling grateful for this generosity, they might be inclined to return to him.
فلما رجعوا إلى أبيهم قالوا يا أبانا منع منا الكيل فأرسل معنا أخانا نكتل وإنا له لحافظون.
When they returned to their father, they said, Father, we have been denied further supply of corn. So send with us our brother, that we may bring the supplies. We shall be responsible for his protection.
قال هل آمنكم عليه إلا كما أمنتكم على أخيه من قبل فالله خير حافظا وهو أرحم الراحمين.
The father said, Shall I trust you with regard to him as I had trusted you earlier with regard to his brother? Allah is the best protector and is the most merciful.
ولما فتحوا متاعهم وجدوا بضاعتهم ردت إليهم قالوا يا أبانا ما نبغي هذه بضاعتنا ردت إلينا ونمير أهلنا ونحفظ أخانا ونزداد كيل بعير ذلك كيل يسير.
And when they opened their things, they found that their goods had been given back to them. Thereupon they cried, Father, what else would we desire? Look, even our goods have been given back to us. So we shall go now and bring supplies for our family. We shall protect our brother and bring another camel load of corn. That additional supply will be easily secured.
قال لن أرسله معكم حتى تؤتون موثقا من الله لتأتونني به إلا أن يحاط بكم فلما آتوه موثقهم قال الله على ما نقول وكيل.
Their father said, I shall never send him with you until you give me a solemn promise in the name of Allah that you will bring him back to me unless you yourselves are surrounded. Then after they had given him their solemn promise, he said, Allah watches over what we have said.
وقال يا بني لا تدخلوا من باب واحد وادخلوا من أبواب متفرقة وما أغني عنكم من الله من شيء إن الحكم إلا لله عليه توكلت وعليه فليتوكل المتوكلون.
And he enjoined them, My sons, do not enter the city by one gate, rather enter it by different gates. I can be of no help to you against Allah. Allah's command alone prevails. In Him have I put my trust, and in Him should all those who have faith put their trust.
ولما دخلوا من حيث أمرهم أبوهم ما كان يغني عنهم من الله من شيء إلا حاجة في نفس يعقوب قضاها وإنه لذو علم لما علمناه ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
And it so happened that when they entered the city by many gates, as their father had directed them, this precautionary measure proved ineffective against Allah's will. There was an uneasiness in Jacob's soul, which he so tried to remove. Surely he was possessed of knowledge owing to the knowledge that we bestowed upon him. But most people do not know the truth of the matter.
ولما دخلوا على يوسف آوى إليه أخاه قال إني أنا أخوك فلا تبتئس بما كانوا يعملون.
When they presented themselves before Joseph, he took his brother aside to himself and said, Verily, I am your own brother Joseph, so do not grieve over the manner they have treated you.
فلما جهزهم بجهازهم جعل السقاية في رحل أخيه ثم أذن مؤذن أيتها العير إنكم لسارقون.
Then while Joseph was having their provisions loaded, he put his drinking cup in his brother's saddlebag, and then a herald cried, Travelers, you are thieves.
قالوا وأقبلوا عليهم ماذا تفقدون.
Turning back, they asked, What have you lost?
قالوا نفقد صواع الملك ولمن جاء به حمل بعير وأنا به زعيم.
The officials said, We have lost the king's cup. And their chief added, He who brings it shall have a camel load of provisions, I guarantee that.
قالوا تالله لقد علمتم ما جئنا لنفسد في الأرض وما كنا سارقين.
They said, By Allah, you certainly know that we did not come to act corruptly in this land, nor are we those who steal.
قالوا فما جزاؤه إن كنتم كاذبين.
The official said, If you are lying, what will be the penalty for him who has stolen?
قالوا جزاؤه من وجد في رحله فهو جزاؤه كذلك نجزي الظالمين.
They replied, He in whose saddlebag the cup is found, he himself shall be its recompense. Thus do we punish the wrongdoers.
فبدأ بأوعيتهم قبل وعاء أخيه ثم استخرجها من وعاء أخيه كذلك كدنا ليوسف ما كان ليأخذ أخاه في دين الملك إلا أن يشاء الله نرفع درجات من نشاء وفوق كل ذي علم عليم.
Then Joseph began searching their bags before searching his own brother's bag. Then he brought forth the drinking cup from his brother's bag. Thus did we contrive to support Joseph. He had no right, according to the religion of the king, that is the law of Egypt, to take his brother, unless Allah so willed. We exalt whomsoever we will over others by several degrees. And above all, those who know is the one who truly knows.
قالوا إن يسرق فقد سرق أخ له من قبل فأسرها يوسف في نفسه ولم يبدها لهم قال أنتم شر مكانا والله أعلم بما تصفون.
They said, No wonder that he steals for a brother of his told before. But Joseph kept his reaction to himself without disclosing the truth to them. He merely said to himself, You are an evil lot. Allah knows well the truth of the accusation that you are making against me to my face.
قالوا يا أيها العزيز إن له أبا شيخا كبيرا فخذ أحدنا مكانه إنا نراك من المحسنين.
They said, O powerful chief Al-Aziz, his father is an age-stricken man, and in order that he may not suffer, seize one of us in his stead. We indeed consider you an excellent person.
قال معاذ الله أن نأخذ إلا من وجدنا متاعنا عنده إنا إذا لظالمون.
Joseph said, Allah forbid that we should seize any except him with whom we found our good. Were we to do so, we would surely be one of the wrongdoers.
فلما استيئسوا منه خلصوا نجيا قال كبيرهم ألم تعلموا أن أباكم قد أخذ عليكم موثقا من الله ومن قبل ما فرطتم في يوسف فلن أبرح الأرض حتى يأذن لي أبي أو يحكم الله لي وهو خير الحاكمين.
Then when they had despaired of Joseph, they went to a corner and counseled together. The eldest of them said, Do you not know that your father has taken a solemn promise from you in the name of Allah, and you failed in your duty towards Joseph? So I will not depart from this land until my father permits me, or Allah pronounces his judgment in my favor. He is the best of those who judge.
ارجعوا إلى أبيكم فقولوا يا أبانا إن ابنك سرق وما شهدنا إلا بما علمنا وما كنا للغيب حافظين.
So go back to your father and tell him, Father, your son has certainly been guilty of stealing. We did not see him stealing, but testify according to what we know, and obviously we had no power to keep watch over that, what is altogether hidden from us.
واسأل القرية التي كنا فيها والعير التي أقبلنا فيها وإنا لصادقون.
You may inquire of the dwellers of the city where we were, and of the people of the caravan with whom we travelled. We are altogether truthful in what we say.
قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل عسى الله أن يأتيني بهم جميعا إنه هو العليم الحكيم.
The father heard the narration and said, All that is untrue, but your souls have made it easy for you to engage in a heinous act. So I will be graciously patient even at this. Allah may well bring them all back to me. He is all-knowing, all-wise.
وتولى عنهم وقال يا أسفا على يوسف وابيضت عيناه من الحزن فهو كظيم.
Then he turned his back to them and said, O my grief for Joseph! His eyes whitened with grief, and he was choked up with sorrow, trying to suppress his grief.
قالوا تالله تفتأ تذكر يوسف حتى تكون حرضا أو تكون من الهالكين.
The son said, By Allah, you will continue to remember Joseph until you will either consume yourself with grief or will die.
قال إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله وأعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون.
He said, I will address my sorrow and grief only to Allah, and I know from Allah what you do not know.
يا بني يذهبوا فتحسسوا من يوسف وأخيه ولا تيأسوا من روح الله إنه لا ييأس من روح الله إلا القوم الكافرون.
My sons, go and try to find out about Joseph and his brother, and do not despair of Allah's mercy. Verily, only the unbelievers despair of Allah's mercy.
فلما دخلوا عليه قالوا يا أيها العزيز مسنا وأهلنا الضر وجئنا ببضاعة مزجاة فأوف لنا الكيل وتصدق علينا إن الله يجزي المتصدقين.
On going to Egypt, they presented themselves to Joseph and said to him, O chief, we and our family are struck with distress and have brought only a paltry sum. So give us corn in full measure, and give it to us in charity. Allah rewards those who are charitable.
قال هل علمتم ما فعلتم بيوسف وأخيه إذ أنتم جاهلون.
When Joseph heard this, he could not hold himself and said, "Do you remember what you did to Joseph and his brother when you were ignorant?"
قالوا أئنك لأنت يوسف قال أنا يوسف وهذا أخي قد من الله علينا إنه من يتق ويصبر فإن الله لا يضيع أجر المحسنين.
They exclaimed, "Are you indeed Joseph?" He said, "Yes, I am Joseph, and this is my brother. Allah has surely been gracious to us. Indeed, whoever fears Allah and remains patient, Allah does not allow the reward of such people to go to waste."
قالوا تالله لقد آثرك الله علينا وإن كنا لخاطئين.
They said, "We swear by Allah, indeed, Allah has chosen you in preference to us, and we were truly guilty."
قال لا تثريب عليكم اليوم يغفر الله لكم وهو أرحم الراحمين.
He replied, "No blame lies with you today. May Allah forgive you. He is the most merciful of all those that are merciful."
اذهبوا بقميصي هذا فألقوه على وجه أبي يأت بصيرا وأتوني بأهلكم أجمعين.
Take this shirt of mine and throw it over my father's face. He will regain his sight, and bring to me all your family.
ولما فصلت العير قال أبوهم إني لأجد ريح يوسف لولا أن تفندون.
And as the caravan set out from Egypt, their father said in Canaan, "Indeed, I smell the fragrance of Joseph. I say so, although you may think that I am doting."
قالوا تالله إنك لفي ضلالك القديم.
They said, "Surely you are still in your same old craze."
فلما أن جاء البشير ألقاه على وجهه فارتد بصيرا قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون.
And when the bearer of good news came, he threw Joseph's shirt over Jacob's face, whereupon he regained his sight and said, "Did I not tell you that I know from Allah what you do not know?"
قالوا يا أبانا استغفر لنا ذنوبنا إنا كنا خاطئين.
They said, "Father, pray for the forgiveness of our sins. We were truly guilty."
قال سوف أستغفر لكم ربي إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.
He said, "I shall pray to my Lord for your forgiveness, for He, and indeed He alone, is ever forgiving, most merciful."
فلما دخلوا على يوسف آوى إليه أبويه وقال ادخلوا مصر إن شاء الله آمنين.
And when they went to Joseph, he took his parents aside and said to the members of his family, enter the city now, and if Allah wills, you shall be secure.
ورفع أبويه على العرش وخروا له سجدا وقال يا أبت هذا تأويل رؤياي من قبل قد جعلها ربي حقا وقد أحسن بي إذ أخرجني من السجن وجاء بكم من البدو من بعد أن نزغ الشيطان بيني وبين إخوتي إن ربي لطيف لما يشاء إنه هو العليم الحكيم.
And after they had entered the city, Joseph raised his parents to the throne beside himself, and they involuntarily bowed in prostration before him. Joseph said, Father, this is the fulfillment of the vision I had before, one that my Lord has caused to come true. He was kind to me when he rescued me from the prison and brought you from the desert after Satan had stirred discord between me and my brothers. Certainly, my Lord is subtle in the fulfillment of His will. He is all-knowing, all-wise.
رب قد آتيتني من الملك وعلمتني من تأويل الأحاديث فاطر السماوات والأرض أنت وليي في الدنيا والآخرة توفني مسلما وألحقني بالصالحين.
My Lord, you have bestowed dominion upon me and have taught me to comprehend the depths of things. O Creator of heavens and earth, you are my guardian in this world and in the hereafter. Cause me to die in submission to you and join me in the end with the righteous.
ذلك من أنباء الغيب نوحيه إليك وما كنت لديهم إذ أجمعوا أمرهم وهم يمكرون.
O Muhammad, this is part of the news from the unseen that we reveal to you, for you were not present with them when Joseph's brothers jointly resolved on a plot.
وَمَا أَكْثَرُ النَّاسِ وَلَوْ حَرَصْتَ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ.
And most of the people, howsoever you might so desire, are not going to believe.
وَمَا تَسْأَلُهُمْ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ أَجْرٍ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا ذِكْرٌ لِلْعَالَمِينَ.
You do not seek from them any recompense for your service. This is merely an admonition to all mankind.
وَكَأَيِّن مِّنْ آيَةٍ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ يَمُرُّونَ عَلَيْهَا وَهُمْ عَنْهَا مُعْرِضُونَ.
How many are the signs in the heavens and the earth which people pass by without giving any heed?
وَمَا يُؤْمِنُ أَكْثَرُهُم بِاللَّهِ إِلَّا وَهُم مُشْرِكُونَ.
And most of them believe in Allah only when they associate others with Him in His divinity.
أَفَأَمِنُوا أَن تَأْتِيَهُمْ غَاشِيَةٌ مِّنْ عَذَابِ الله أو تأتيهم الساعة بغتة وهم لا يشعرون.
Do they then feel secure that an overwhelming chastisement shall not visit them, and the hour shall not suddenly come upon them without their even perceiving it?
قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين.
Tell them plainly, this is my way. I call you to Allah on the basis of clear perception, both I and those who follow me. Allah, glory be to Him, is free of every imperfection. I have nothing to do with those who associate others with Allah in His divinity.
وما أرسلنا من قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم من أهل القرى أفلم يسيروا في الأرض فينظروا كيف كان عاقبة الذين من قبلهم ولدار الآخرة خير للذين اتقوا أفلا تعقلون.
The messengers whom we raised before you, O Muhammad, and to whom we sent down revelations, were only human beings and were from among those living in earthly habitations. Have these people not traveled in the earth that they may observe the end of their predecessors? Certainly, the abode of the hereafter is much better for those who accepted the call of the messengers and acted in a God-fearing manner. Will you still not act with good sense?
حتى إذا استيأس الرسل وظنوا أنهم قد كذبوا جاءهم نصرنا فنجي من نشاء ولا يرد بأسنا عن القوم المجرمين.
It also happened with their earlier messengers that for long they preached and people paid no heed until the messengers despaired of their people. And the people also fancied that they had been told lies by the messengers. Then suddenly our help came to the messengers. And when such an occasion comes, we rescue whom we will. As for the guilty, our chastisement cannot be averted from them.
لقد كان في قصصهم عبرة لأولي الألباب ما كان حديثا يفترى ولكن تصديق الذي بين يديه وتفصيل كل شيء وهدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون.
Certainly in the stories of the bygone people, there's a lesson for people of understanding. What is being narrated in the Qur'an is no fabrication. It is rather confirmation of the books that preceded it, and a detailed exposition of everything, and a guidance and mercy for people of faith.